This meeting is being recorded.
Great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Somerville Cares About Prevention's 18th annual meeting. My name is Lovely Heller-Botari, and I'm the Program Director for Somerville Cares About Prevention. SCAP is a community-based coalition that works to reduce underage drinking and substance misuse in Somerville. We would like to thank you all for being here this evening to show your support for this very important work. Tonight's event was organized by Somerville Positive Forces youth leaders and staff and is really meant to be a celebration.
And good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Mitchell. I am the Prevention Services Manager with the City of Somerville's Health and Human Services Department. During this presentation, you're going to hear about our various Somerville prevention activities this year, hear from some partners, and you'll hear from Mayor Ballantyne in a few minutes.
Great. And over the last decade, our work in prevention has given us many quiet victories, including an over 52% drop in reported underage drinking. We like to say that prevention is the unsung hero that works behind the scenes to make positive changes that save hundreds of lives each and every year.
We share our successes with our community members, partners, and leaders who are dedicated to youth substance misuse prevention. We are pleased to have members, friends, families, partners, organizations, and local officials here present to celebrate our work. I want to give an opportunity to say thank you to Representative Mike Connolly, who I did see enter the waiting room or enter our event, and glad to see that you were able to make it. If you want to say a few words, feel free to jump in.
I just got in the door from the State House, so forgive me. I'm in my T-shirt here on my couch. And I'm proud to say we actually voted today to make driver's licenses available to all, regardless of immigration status. So forgive me, I just got in the door, but I wanted to witness the program and just say thank you to Somerville Cares About Prevention and to Somerville Prevention Services for this incredibly important work. And I support what you're doing. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a bunch. We're so glad that you can make the time to be here. I know you're also busy. Thank you again for everyone joining us this evening. We hope that this presentation helps you to better understand prevention and its value in our community and the very many dedicated people who make it happen.
All right. Thank you, Lovely. And so without further ado, I want to turn it over to Mayor Katjana Ballantyne, who is joining us tonight for a few brief remarks. Mayor.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you to Somerville Positive Forces youth leadership for your important work throughout the year and for sharing the work with us tonight. I also want to thank Matt Mitchell and our Department of Health and Human Services colleagues, particularly our staff in Somerville Prevention Services and Somerville Cares About Prevention. Rep Mike Connolly, thank you for joining us. And before we begin, I want to underscore the importance of youth-led involvement in substance misuse prevention, and of course, the importance of prevention efforts in general. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. No one knows the issues that young people face better than young people themselves. We know that hearing information from peers or accessing programs made by and for peers is often more effective and welcome. As you shared with us earlier this year, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a real impact on the mental health and well-being of your youth in our community. And we know some of these issues were here long before the pandemic, and that we continue to face health disparities along the lines of gender and gender identity, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and more. We have a lot of work to do to address these matters holistically and equitably. To the youth in this room this evening who are living with these issues while helping us solve them, thank you. Thank you so much for your leadership and your partnership. Please know that I and my administration are listening, and you have our full support as we seek better solutions together. I'm afraid I'll have to leave a little early tonight, but please know that my Chief of Staff, Nikki Spencer, will stay on and report back to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. Even if it was brief, we appreciate your support and your continued support for our efforts. So have a good rest of your night.
Thank you.
Next up, we want to introduce the two individuals that will be doing our impact address this evening. So I'd like to introduce Julia Curbera and Jeff Desmarais from the Institute for Community Health, otherwise known as ICH. Julia is a research and evaluation project manager at ICH, and she is involved in evaluation projects of both family services, health advocacy, and substance misuse disorder prevention and treatment. Jeff is a senior research and evaluation project manager at ICH. His work at ICH mostly focuses on evaluation, quality improvement, and research with agencies and communities across Massachusetts. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to you, Julia and Jeff. Take it away.
Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Desmarais over at ICH.
My name is Julia Curbera, also at ICH.
And today we just wanted to briefly talk about some of the work that we've done in partnership with the City of Somerville and kind of highlight some of the importance of collecting data to inform community action, in particular focusing on community engagement and how it's important to really hear the voices of folks who are being impacted by different issues to ensure that they're really shaping the solutions that are developed. We have been working with the City of Somerville on assessment and evaluation for two different grants. The first one is Overdose Data to Action, and the second one is Mass Call 3. We initially got to know folks in City of Somerville, working with them on OD2A, and eventually partner with them on the Mass Call 3 project.
Great. And at ICH, we are committed to taking an equitable evaluation approach to our work in evaluation and program needs assessments. And what this looks like is just an approach and set of techniques focused on gathering data in ways that can help improve programming to make it more fair and equitable for everybody. And so some of the ways that we do this at ICH and with our partners is to collect data intentionally on race, gender identity, ethnicity, language, and other demographic variables to make sure that programs are reaching a diverse group of people in the community and the people who might need them most. And we also do this in our assessment work to when we engage stakeholders for data collection and youth to participate in data collection to make sure that we're getting a representative group of folks who can help inform our programming. We also review or make sure to intentionally review any data that's disaggregated by race and gender identity and other demographic variables to identify different patterns and needs that different groups might need. And we also are really committed to making sure that we share back results of our assessment work and evaluation work with the community and with participants who helped us in those activities to get their feedback and make sure that their voices are heard.
Great. So what does that look like in practice? So the Overdose Data to Action project is a partnership with the City of Somerville, City of Cambridge, as well as Fenway Health and Somerville Homeless Coalition to provide harm reduction trainings to folks who are unstably housed living in Cambridge and Somerville to help prevent overdoses. So far, they have provided trainings to 176 unique individuals over the past few years. We conducted a survey with all those folks who received the training after they had finished it and just gonna ask them how it went and what they got from it. What we ended up finding is that folks increased their understanding on overdose risks and what causes overdose, and importantly, as well as increase their knowledge on how best to respond to overdoses. However, as the project continued to be implemented and due to the increase of fentanyl in the drug supply, the Overdose Data Action team worked in partnership with the state to begin distributing fentanyl test strips to folks as they are implementing their trainings. And one of the reasons why they did this is that having a fentanyl overdose could definitely could happen if you're an opioid consumer, if you use opioids, but also could happen if you're using other types of substances, if the substance was laced with that. So they really pivoted to start addressing that issue. And in doing that, we are currently conducting a couple qualitative interviews with people who have received the training, just to really better understand what new trends are happening in drug use patterns, and what are how useful have these fentanyl test strips really been. And so we'll hopefully be analyzing the data shortly and eventually sharing this data back.
Great. And in Mass Call 3, Mass Call 3 is a program that the City of Somerville is working on in collaboration with Everett, Arlington, and Lexington. But it is a program focused on youth misuse, substance misuse prevention. And we have been providing capacity building support and TA technical assistance to the towns as they have been conducting their needs assessment to plan the program. So we're using a variety of different data sources in the needs assessment, including surveys with high school youth about drug use behaviors and their mental health. We're also looking at overall drug use behaviors, but also seeing that groups of different identities are having different experiences with substance misuse and with mental health. So starting to pay particular attention to that. We're also in a cluster and coalition with really diverse cities and communities, and also some communities that are might be whiter and more affluent. So looking at differences across socioeconomic lines and race and ethnicity and other variables in the to plan sort of equitable program for everybody. And the folks at Somerville, Everett, Arlington, and Lexington have been doing, or have done a really great job of doing interviews and focus groups with youth, caregivers, and key stakeholders in the community to help inform our assessment as well. And we're currently in the stage where we're analyzing all of that qualitative data and providing support to to Somerville and others as they do that. And once we finish the assessment, we'll be working with the cluster to identify strategies for how we want to share our findings with folks who participated in the assessment and with people in the community, and then looking at recommendations and next steps for program planning. So that is a little bit about some of the work that we've been doing, and we're really happy to be here at this meeting and to have such a great collaboration with Somerville and our OD2A and Mass Call 3 programs. And yeah, we're really looking forward to the rest of the programming tonight and to continuing to work together.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Jeff. I think we have an ongoing joke that if a week goes by and we haven't had a meeting, then the week didn't really happen. And I've already seen Julia and Jeff many times this week. So we very much appreciate all of your support in getting all of this evaluation done. I mean, as people know, the programs that we do need to be data informed and have that data be representative of the community as a whole. So I don't think we would be able to be at this point where we are in both of those grants without both of you. So I appreciate that you guys made the time to attend tonight and to continue to help us in that regard.
Thank you.
Next up, you'll hear a little bit more from me. So, you know, prevention matters. I mean, I think everybody in this room is aware of that and is understanding of that, and why our work is important. So, you know, we aim to prevent some of the growing concerns about youth use, misuse, exposure to substances in the community and other addictive behaviors. The idea is to challenge or change what has long been considered societal norms. And, you know, those are things like everyone's doing it, or it's a rite of passage. And, you know, I think as we talk with youth, and we're hoping that kind of evolves to a point where it's not necessarily the case, where, you know, youth are engaged in other behaviors that maybe are promoting mental health or promoting wellness in a more healthy way than substance use. So, you know, we are big advocates. I mean, we're a little biased, but prevention works. And I think that you're going to see tonight that some of our program accomplishments will highlight that. And I hope that you kind of get a good sense of some of the work that we're doing and some of the work that we're going to be heading towards in the near future. So here's a quick highlight of some of the programs and the grants that we're involved in. So as you can see, first we have to make the shameless plug of Instagram. Make sure you're following us at Somerville Prevention. Our grants, we have Mass Call 3 and Overdose Data to Action, as Julia and Jeff just talked about. I'm going to go a little bit more detail on that shortly. We also have the Massachusetts Tobacco Cessation Program, which is head up by our Tobacco Control Director, Bonnie Carroll. And then this year we had a different grant that was a one-year grant, and it was a cultural humility grant around overdose prevention. And so we had partnered with Column Health actually to do outreach and increase our outreach to BIPOC individuals, including Spanish-speaking, Portuguese, and Haitian Creole folks. I think over the course of the year, we had reached over 100 individuals through that grant, and 50 of which were individuals of color. For the programs, we'll talk about SPF Junior and 100 a little bit later on. We're going to hear from our substance misuse prevention coordinator, Lily, who was not able to join us tonight, but has graciously agreed to record a video that I'm going to play. We'll talk about some of our social media and our education and outreach. We'll make a plug for if you know any youth who are interested in doing social media prevention. We're going to be doing a program this summer. And we also are involved in the student health surveys, administering them in partnership with the schools each year. And then SPERT, also another partnership with the schools to do drug and alcohol screening with 7th and 9th graders, asking questions about, behaviors that they may have engaged in the year, and really just trying to get a dialogue going about substance use and answer questions or any thoughts that they may have about what substance use looks like, or questions about, how that can impact them as a youth. So this year we had done, I want to say 700 plus screenings for SPERT between the 7th and 9th grades. So I think it represented about 94% of the total 7th and 9th grade students. So we were very proud to be able to make that happen this year. And thanks again to the schools who helped put that together with us. So now I'm going to pivot. You hear a little bit from Lily, and then we will go back to the rest of our scheduled programming.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Doliak and I am the Substance Misuse Prevention Coordinator for the City of Somerville. I'm sorry that I could not have been there tonight, but I wanted to share with you some of the work that I've been involved with since I've started in October of 2021. I work in the Somerville Prevention Division with Matt, Lovely, and Bonnie, and I work in partnership with the Somerville Public Schools to support youth in the middle and high schools. For student referrals, I will typically receive them from school faculty, and I work very closely with the Somerville Public Schools district-wide prevention and intervention specialist, Kristen Strellis. With parental consent, I'll meet with the student to complete an initial assessment. At this time, I have completed 15 plus assessments, and I support about half of those students with ongoing weekly and bi-weekly check-ins. This assessment is a collaborative process where I aim to just get a better understanding on where the student is at and what type of substance use might be present. Based on that assessment, I inform what my next steps will be. Some supports that I can provide are psychoeducation, which means if a student comes in and can benefit from receiving more information on a specific substance and how it can affect their overall health and development, then I will provide basic information during our assessment, and then I'll schedule another follow-up appointment with them where I will come prepared with more informational documents and resources. If a student identifies that their driver for use is rooted more in active mental health symptoms due to any current stressors, I will combine both psychoeducation and psychosocial support. This means that I'll help put language to any mental health symptoms that they are experiencing and will provide more education on how this intersects with their current substance use. I will do all of this while also creating a safe and confidential space for the young person to speak on their experiences and then process that with them. With that, if I feel that clinically a student would be benefited by a resource that extends beyond the capacity of my role, I can support that student and their family with a referral to community resources. I also work to create content on substance misuse that is engaging, funny, and up to date on our social, particularly our Instagram account at Somerville Prevention, so please follow us. Our goal with this is to create a meaningful way to engage community members on social media so that they can receive information on their phones and make it really accessible. Lovely Matt and I are also currently working on a Mass Call 3 grant that aims to connect with community stakeholders consisting of both youth and adults to better understand youth substance misuse practices so that we can create better prevention strategies in the future. Currently, we have completed all of our focus groups and key stakeholder interviews, and we're going through some data analysis at this time. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at ldoliak@somervillema.gov. I look forward to collaborating with all of you in the future.
So again, I want to thank Lily. I know how awkward it can be to record yourself, so she did a very good job of getting the information out there to us. So thanks again, Lily. So as we've talked about, the Mass Call 3 grant is a regional grant. It's a cluster grant that we received from the Bureau of Substance Addiction Services from DPH. It's a cluster, again, of Somerville, Everett, Arlington, Lexington. We are calling ourselves the SAIL cluster, the SAIL team. Our goal, again, is to prevent the initiation of first substance misuse of youth. So we've done our needs assessment. We've reached, I think, around 50. Our stat checkers can probably check that from ICH, but roughly 50 folks. And we have unique partnerships with the Welcome Project and the Elizabeth Peabody House to help assist in reaching folks that maybe we were not previously engaged with. So we worked with the Elizabeth Peabody House to get a lot of caregivers, particularly those that have youth in the transition 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, as well as some folks that had younger youth and were worried about kind of how substance use may look in the future, or in how to have maybe proactive conversations with their youth. And then we worked with the Welcome Project to offer 2 language-specific focus groups, one in Spanish and one in Portuguese. So we had worked with staff at the at the Welcome Project to run those groups for us in collaboration with us. So we were present. I was present. I was in the Portuguese group, had no idea what was going on, but it was a very lively discussion, as well as for the Spanish group, where there was, I think, 12 or 13 parents in the room who were very vocal, very passionate about what they're talking about, and really helped to inform some of the analysis that I think we're going to have come out soon. So as folks have mentioned, we have our strategic planning happening now. We are going to be analyzing it and then presenting our findings to BSAS to hopefully be able to get the approval to move on to figuring out what intervening variables we want to address this coming fiscal year. The Overdose Data to Action Grant, as you mentioned, again, it's to provide overdose prevention trainings on housed individuals. Jeff gave you the specific amount, but I knew it was over 150 that we've trained since the basic inception of the grant. The individuals are compensated for their time to receive the training. So they get Narcan, fentanyl test strips, a backpack full of care items, as you can see a couple on the right, where it's a blanket, a hat, gloves, baby wipes, or wipes just to wash themselves, a water bottle, a collapsible water bottle, a watch, which is actually one of the most underrated things that the folks from Fenway and Homeless Coalition mentioned people need because of phones dying and then not losing track of time, chapstick, mask, foot spray, whatever people may need, we're going to put in there. And if we can find more, we'll put more in that bag. It's getting pretty tight at this point. And they also get a $25 Target gift card for their participation. So we've done a very good job, I think, reaching a lot of folks so far. We look forward to the last year of this grant, reaching more folks. And we also want to do more in increasing our outreach to the business community. So this was a part of the grant initially, but it really was made challenging by COVID. And a lot of businesses just didn't really have the capacity to add this training or this to their plate, where they were going through a lot of other things, obviously, at that point. So now that things are opening up a little bit, we're going to get back on the ground and try and do outreach to the business community to not only give them the information about overdose prevention, but also provide Narcan so that they can have on site in the event of an overdose. Again, our Somerville Prevention Instagram is one of my favorite projects, I think, that we work on. Because we're trying to reach people where they're at, really, and that's on their phone. As you know, we can debate the pros and cons of that, but we want to think of it as a way of, if people are on their phones, we want to have positive information or informational education that they're going to use, whether it be they don't know it, they'll read it and they'll see it, and maybe they'll remember it a couple of years from now. But the real essence of it is really trying to embed it in something that is a pop culture reference or something that people recognize. Because, you know, we've seen data and things and the way it's presented, and sometimes it's not, people just scroll by it. They don't really care about it. But if you embed the substance misuse prevention work in something that people like, whether it's a TV show or a movie or music, whatever, then more people are going to pay attention to it. And pretty clearly you can see, so impressions are just the number of times our content created was on someone's phone. It's amazing the way that they track this data, kind of scary. But 84,549 times over the last year between July 21 and June 22 have somebody looked and saw our content. I just find that amazing. We have 19,240 accounts reached, some of those being followers, obviously some of those not being. 4,629 content interactions. So that's comments, posts, likes, shares. And then our followers are now up to 916. I think I'm gonna probably throw a party once we reach the 1,000, because I always have to like hype up our Instagram, but I think it's really reaching a diverse group of people. You know, we're reaching youth and we're reaching college age students, and we're also reaching adults and parents. So again, if you're not following us, make sure you are now. And that leads into our summer programming. So we're gonna have our second year of our Youth Ambassadors program. This is where we work with youth over the summer to create substance misuse prevention content to put out to the community. So they kind of take over our account while also promoting it on their account. The thought being is that some of the folks that follow us can see the youth created content, and then they'll share it on their account so that the youth that don't follow us can also see it, because we're presuming that they are going to be followed by friends and peers. So right now we're in the application process. I think we've already had 10 applicants, and we're working through interviews and setting them up and getting permission forms and everything. But we're going to accept it on a rolling basis until we have no more slots available. So it's a pretty light lift. You know, I've talked to, basically the way I presented it to youth is that if you have another job in the summer, this can be a pretty good side hustle for you, because it only requires, I think 10 hours is what we ask over the course of the summer. But it's very youth driven and very independent work, but working with myself and Lily to help create and inform the content. So as you can see, we have our office themes. I think that's one of our most popular memes that we use, just in terms of the show, since everyone seems to know it. But there's a link, I'll put it in the chat later on, but you can also find it on our Instagram in our bio to apply if you know any youth between grades 8 and 12. And last but not least, before we turn it over to the youth, we're going to hear a few words from our Sixth City Tobacco Director, Bonnie Carroll.
Hi, everyone. This is Bonnie Carroll from the Sixth City Tobacco Initiative, a division of the Prevention Department. And I just wanted to come on and say that I'm sorry that I can't be there this year, but I would like to provide you with some numbers of what we've done over the past year. So we're at 328 stores in the Tobacco Collaborative, and of those 328 stores, we have done compliance checks on 278 of those. And compliance checks involve sending in a young person under the age of 21 to attempt to buy tobacco and/or nicotine products. Of the 278 stores that have been done already, there were 24 sales, but many of those were not in Somerville. Somerville's rates continued to be very low. We also had some extra money this year, and so we hired somebody to do what we called adult compliance checks. And we sent in somebody over the age of 21 to attempt to buy menthol products. Of those 278 stores, only 2 of them sold menthol products. One was in Winthrop, and unfortunately one was in Somerville. But we have taken strict action to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So it's a very good thing. Also, there have been 200 education visits at this point. There will be 328 by the end of the fiscal year, June 30th. But of those 200 that have happened already, we're very happy to report that the majority of them are not selling any illegal products. I just wanted to add that in Somerville, because of the Board of Health's progressive stance on protecting our young people, we only have one vape store, which is called an adult-only retail tobacco store. And in Somerville, that's the only place that a person can buy a vape product. They're not sold in any convenience stores. And a person would need to be 21 to even walk into that store. So we feel that that's a good protective factor. And we continue to monitor the vape situation and try to keep ahead of the trends. So again, I'm sorry that I can't be there, but I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you all next year. Bye-bye.
Check out this Verbo.
All right. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to our SPF youth.
Hi, I'm Bhavika, an SPF youth leader. Somerville Positive Forces, SPF Junior and SPF 100 are middle school and high school youth working to reduce underage drinking, youth substance use, and related issues. Our mission is to support social change that empowers youth to make healthier decisions. Our vision is to create a community where youth are seen as assets and have opportunities and experiences that foster positive youth development and leadership. Every day, we witness peer issues that lead to drug and alcohol use. As leaders, we work to create positive change to support healthy choices. With the support of our partners, SPF has engaged in numerous prevention and capacity building activities this year. These covered a wide range of topics, including racial and gender equity, communications, advocacy, community assessments, leadership, mindfulness, youth-led research, and community education, just to name a few. While we don't have time to share the details of all our work, we would like to share a few with you. But first, let's see some photos of our youth members. Here's a slide with the members of our SPF 100 high school youth group. The next slide shows the members of our SPF junior and middle school youth group. And now I will turn it over to Hadi to share information about one of our favorite events.
Hi, my name is Hadi and I'm an SPF junior leader. One of our favorite events this year was our annual student health trivia and community discussions. SPF leaders shared highlights from both the high school and middle school student health survey results in an interactive trivia game. Afterwards, youth and adults connected for community discussions to share concerns, youth issues, and priority needs. This year, top priorities included mental health awareness, stress and anxiety, vaping, marijuana, unwanted sex, fighting, and increases in violence. SPF worked to address some of these issues with their projects, and other organizations responded too, like Teen Empowerment with their Peace March to help end violence. You can help too. Join our coalition to work on solutions. Next, we'll share some of our capacity building work.
Hello, my name is Shahat and I'm an SPF Junior Youth Leader. This past year has been a struggle with COVID, but we still worked hard to build understanding of youth issues through various trainings and events. Some of our trainings and events included the 84 Youth Power Summit, Spark Share Elevator Pitch, Text Less, Live More, along with others we shared like the YIPS Trivia. Our goal from these trainings and events was to be able to recognize often hidden and misunderstood issues, build our capacity to respond to youth needs, and engage in the community and our prevention work. Now I'd like to share some of our Spark Share training with you. At the Fall Summit, in partnership with Think, Argus, and listing others to your cause, SPF had the opportunity to learn how to create an effective message, talk about their project in a compelling way, and engage their target audience. During the Mental Health, Wellness, and Substance Use Convention, SPF learned how Spark Share teams are addressing mental wellness and substance use in their work. Lastly, at the Spring Summit, learning from others to open up new doors of opportunity. SPF learned about the importance of active listening, relationship building, and learning from others.
Hi. I think Baba got cut out, so I will just continue for her. We appreciate our Shacks, our Spark Share partners, and the internet work for all their capacity building opportunities throughout this past year to support social justice. Thank you, Spark Share.
Hi, my name is Caden, and I am an SPF 100 leader. SPF and C4 are working together to conduct a youth-led research project to learn more from our peers about what is driving youth substance use, like vaping and related issues like stress and anxiety. For this project, we learned about youth substance use, issues of equity, and data collection methods. Then we decided on a research question, which is how can we create a better and safer environment for youth as a means of prevention? As a part of that research, we are examining issues related to school stress, pressures, and mental health issues using a 26-question survey that we created. We focused on asking students to visualize an ideal environment rather than asking for solutions to community problems. Currently, we are administrating these surveys to youth groups and recently surveyed youth at a peace march. Ultimately, we hope to survey at least 50 youth, then analyze our data, share our findings with the community, and connect to address issues.
Hi, my name is Ariana. I am an SCAP 100 leader. As mentioned earlier, student mental health wellness is a big issue amongst our peers. 46% of teens in Somerville have anxiety. The top cause of stress anxiety is related to academics. Additionally, relationships, world and social issues, family, and money are sources of stress. As a youth, it can be hard to advocate for yourselves for reasons ranging from anxiety or insecurities, of fear of getting in trouble or getting someone else in trouble. The best support we ask for is a safe environment, free from judgment and information flow. Mental health isn't something talked about as much as it should be. Teens don't know what is normal and what is not. They think they're struggling is normal and that they are just weak. Without safe environments and resources, teens turn to unhealthy codes such as vaping to deal with their stresses. Now we want to share some of our work we've done to try and help. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, it's a little choppy, but we can hear you.
With youth stress and anxiety, sorry about that. With youth stress and anxiety at record highs, SPF went to work to create some relief. We tried out various meditations and then designed our own 20-second mini mindfulness practice for social media. The posts were calming with hopes it would help someone having a rough day to take a moment and breathe. We also invited Teen Empowerment to join us for a mindfulness training to build our skills and support our work. These are some of our posts. We reached hundreds. We invite you to check out our mini mindfulness practices and other posts by connecting with us on our social media. For Instagram, visit at Somerville Prevention. Next up, we want to share some of our experiences with youth vaping.
Hi, my name is Shana and I'm SBF Junior Leader. Another top issue among Somerville youth today is the vaping epidemic. One second. Vaping is the most used substance reported by teens in our community, and it is very concerning. Unfortunately, not many students understand the harms of this dangerous addictive substance. To respond to this crisis, SPF put up posters like these shown here in our schools to raise awareness among students. We advocated for vape detectors in the school restrooms to support vape-free bathroom spaces, and we created messages about quit supports like Ditch Vape. Additionally, SPF served as a Somerville chapter of the 84 movement. In a moment, I'll turn it over to Kate to tell you more about this work, but first we want to share some quotes about our experiences with peer vaping. One quote is, I've seen peers in my class struggle with vaping and addiction. They say things like, it's hard to stop, I can't stop, and I want to do it again. My peers often say we should go try the new flavors. I want to try the mango or orange flavor. I have a friend who just started vaping this year because of peer pressure and popularity. She started getting in lots of trouble in school and lost many of her friends. Because of that, she's usually alone. She says that vaping really affected her mental health and she feels stressed and anxious more often. I've heard others in my grade have been caught vaping in bathrooms or outside during lunch. They get vape from older
friends, parents, and each other. Many youth start to get away from reality and forget about stress and schoolwork. Many young students are overwhelmed with what goes on in school. Vaping can break and tear apart relationships. A friend's partner was caught vaping, and that led him and everyone involved to get in trouble and all face issues. There needs to be more opportunities for kids to release stress during the school period.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate and I'm an SPF 100 leader. As mentioned a moment ago, SPF is the Somerville chapter of the 84 movement, which is a statewide youth tobacco prevention organization. As part of this movement, our work has addressed the targeting of vulnerable populations, such as youth and people of color, by the tobacco and vaping industries. Youth are fighting back against these shameful tactics. We are also focused on why youth vape, especially this year, given the risk factors that have resulted from the COVID pandemic. There are chapters all over the state that do this type of work in their local area, and we have representation on the 84 statewide leadership team, where youth convene to organize workshops on topics from tobacco targeting to the social determinants of health. We do this with the hope that everyone will make positive changes to reduce the influence of the tobacco and vaping industries on both the local and statewide level. This spring, SPF youth leaders participated in the 2022 virtual Kick Butts Day, joining the 84 and hundreds of youth from across the state in a day of youth action. Following an impressive display of youth tobacco prevention leadership from each chapter, SPF Junior and SPF 100 youth met with state leaders, Senator Jalen and Representative Barber, to highlight their prevention work over the last year and share why their work is important to them, along with the top issues teens are facing in Somerville right now, which include stress, anxiety, depression, violence, and substance use. Us SPF leaders would like to thank Senator Jalen and Representative Barber for taking the time to meet with us during Kick Butts Day legislative visits. We were so excited for the opportunity to speak with each of them about important youth issues in our community, and we look forward to working with them to help our peers in the future. SPF is proud to be an 84 chapter, and we want to thank Ed Rand, who's here tonight, if you want to give a little wave, as well as the whole 84 team for their support this year. Next up is Jacky. Thank you.
Hi, I am Jacky, and I am a SPF Junior Youth Leader. I'm going to share about our sticker shop campaign to raise awareness about the minimum drinking age. For this project, we partnered with Save More Spirits at Assembly Row to put over 1,000 stickers on paper bags. The stickers say warning 21 or bust. Providing alcohol to an individual under the age of 21 is illegal. We were able to accomplish putting stickers on many bags and hopefully stop some adults from giving alcohol to youth. Next up is Sean.
Hello, my name is Sean. I'm an SPF youth leader. SPF works to promote positive youth behaviors by designing campaigns, posts, and posters. Some of our projects include our Most Don't campaign to correct the misinterpretations among peers that everyone does it, when in fact, most of our Somerville High School students don't use alcohol, marijuana, or vape. The Text Less, Live More campaign encourages peers to text less and enjoy life more, especially when if it comes to texting and driving, and our photo voice exhibits. For photo voice, youth use photos to look at issues through different lenses, including cultural and social norms and inequalities. Currently, we are finalizing our youth leadership and prevention photo voices. Our problem gambling exhibit is currently on display at Somerville Family Dental and aims to raise awareness around youth and problem gambling using photos. You can see a recording of our virtual exhibit on our YouTube channel. Please check it out. Next up is Mia. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mia and I'm an SPF Junior Leader. We hope you enjoyed hearing about some of our prevention work this year. Now we wanted to share some reasons why this work matters to our community. Our work in SPF includes many different leadership skills and projects in which we spread awareness to work to prevent youth substance use and different problems youth face. We want to spread awareness to our peers so that they are healthy, safe, and informed. We see the effect of substance use in our community and don't want the cycle to continue. We want to decrease substance use among our peers and community members. Advocating for community issues such as substance use, mental health is extremely important to us to show that the youth care and can support our community. Now we want to share a few quotes on why SPF work is so important to us. This work is important because it helps make our next generation a better society. This work is important to me because I want to educate myself and others about the issues that youth face. I want to help find solutions to those problems and help others. I'm passionate about this because I've seen how issues like mental health and youth substance has affected my peers. This work is important to me because vaping and other substance use can be harmful to my community and make huge changes in people's lives very quickly. Teenagers that vape might not know the harms that it causes. More than anything, we want other kids to know that you don't have to be an adult to make a change in the community. This wraps our SPF highlight for this year. Thank you for listening. Next up are our appreciation awards.
Hi, my name is Havila and I am an SPF Junior Youth Leader. Tonight we want to take a moment to share our gratitude for some of the hardworking people and organizations that have helped our important work this year. Dr. Garganti gave our youth problem gambling prevention photo voice project a home at Somerville Family Dental in the heart of Union Square, our district, reaching hundreds. We are deeply grateful for your support, Dr. Garganti. Thank you. Our next Partner Appreciation Award goes to Save More Spirits. Save More has been a committed partner of our prevention coalition for over a decade. Thank you for helping us to remind adults not to give alcohol to people under 21 with their annual sticker shock campaigns. We deeply value your continued partnership and dedication to our work.
Yay!
Next up is Nancy.
Hi, my name is Nancy and I'm an SPF Junior Leader. Next, we want to recognize teen empowerment for all their support this year with our community assessments, which include supporting our YRBS events and community discussions, our youth focuses groups, our survey outreach, at their Peace March, and more. We are so grateful for your support to help us more deeply understand youth substance issues in Somerville. Thank you, Teen Empowerment.
Yay!
Next is Kate.
Our next award goes to our incredible partners at C4 Innovations, Katie Wilkie and Adrian Cosmali. You have taught SPF 100 so much about youth-led research, and you have strengthened our skills in mindfulness and decision-making. We're so incredibly grateful for all the expertise you have shared with our team. You are both amazing humans. Thank you so much.
Yay!
And now take the next one, since we interact with ICH so much, we couldn't let the opportunity go by without giving them a partner appreciation. So Julie and Jeff, thank you for your efforts so far and your continued efforts going forward.
Yay!
We also want to again appreciate Somerville Homeless Coalition, Fenway Health /Access for their efforts. We would not have been able to reach any of those individuals that we had talked about earlier, the 170 plus folks, without their expertise, outreach efforts, and support. So I think as long as we work with them, they'll probably always have a place in our partner appreciations. And then I just want to thank Payel Islam and Christian Guzzo for their efforts this past year to really take our social media to the next level. They really understood the mindset and kind of the vision that we had for, you know, presenting prevention information in the way that we wanted to reach people. And they took it, they ran with it, and they dealt with my nitpicking and my constructive feedback. And they were super creative at the same time. So they weren't able to attend tonight, but I know that they're super thankful for the opportunity, and we hope that we can work with them again in the future.
Yay! Thank you so much to all of our amazing partners. These are just some of the wonderful people that we had the opportunity to work with this year. And so up next, we want to honor our wonderful SPF Junior and SPF 100 leaders for their outstanding prevention work this year. Their motivation, energy, and dedication that the SPF youth bring make them outstanding young leaders, and we're so proud of all of their achievements. It's been such a pleasure working with all of you this year and seeing everything that you've accomplished. At this time, we would like to present our SPF junior leaders with awards of appreciation. We'll call their names and give them each a round of applause. So first we have Bhavika Kali. Kalia. Yay. Chahat Kalia. Yay. Mia Goss. Yay, Mia. Hadi Jilla. Yay, Hadi. Sean Chafee. Yay, Sean. Ishana Bali. Yay, Ishana. Nancy Namako. Yay, Nancy. Havila Namako. Zacky Sheikh. Yay, Zacky. Next, we would like to acknowledge and demonstrate our appreciation for all of our outstanding efforts of our SPF 100 youth leaders. So I'll call their names and we'll give them another round of applause. Ariana Ray. Yay, Ariana. Michaela Fiortor. Yay, Michaela. Kate Johnson. Yay, Kate. Kaden Yarberry. Yay, Kaden. Frances Leadhome. Yay, Frances. Rue Ramiro. Yay, Rue. Olive Red. Yay, Olive. Elevin Flores. Benjamin Matamo. Yay, Benjamin. Jessica Diaz. Yay, Jessica. Eduarda Pereira. Yay, Eduarda. Hashem El Sadi. Yay, Hashem. Abigail Magia. Yay, Abigail. And Astrid Blair. Yay, Astrid. And Simran Tamang. Yay, Simran. And Mia Rivera. Yay, Mia. Thank you again to all of our amazing and dedicated and such creative SPF youth leaders for all their efforts to help save lives. Now I would like to take a moment to share a special appreciation for one of our very talented youth leaders graduating this year and moving on to college, Kate Johnson. Kate, you've been such an important part of our SPF team these last 4 years, and we want you to know just how special you are to us. Thank you for your years of incredible leadership and dedication to our prevention work. We are really, really going to miss you so, so much. Let's please give Kate and all of our other SPF leaders another round of applause. Yay! You're amazing.
And
Now
if I could jump in real quickly, Lovely, if you don't
yeah,
mind. I just want to say, when I first started 4 years ago, Kate was actually the first SPF youth that I ever interacted with in our interview when she was a freshman, I believe. And I cannot say anything more about the great work that you've done and the contributions you made to this team. So I very much thank you, and I will miss seeing you around in the group. So best of luck going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
We love you, Kate. Don't be a stranger. Like I said earlier, you can definitely stick around and come visit us again. We love the engagement of all of our community members in our coalition work. And so, especially for our youth, you have so much like prevention and public health training behind you by the time you graduate that, you know, we really welcome you coming back and assisting us in our work in the future. So we're so proud of you all. And now I'll turn it over to Nancy for our closing. Oops, did we lose you, Nancy? No, that's okay. I can wrap it up. It's time to wrap up this evening celebration. We hope that everyone learned something valuable about prevention and that you will share this information with your family and friends. It's our mission to reduce underage drinking and substance use among youth in our community. And we've been able to achieve this goal every year. And this is only possible due to your continued support and dedication and the many, many partnerships that we have to do this work. So please give yourselves all another round of applause. Thank you everyone for coming out to our 18th annual meeting. Please take a moment to fill out our evaluation to let us know how we can improve this event. The link is in the chat box, or will be in the chat box. And thank you everyone, and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
job everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming out, everyone. It's good to see you.